Hello, it's a good day. Welcome back to the channel. Again, thank you. If you find anything here interesting, thank you for liking and subscribing. So I do appreciate that. I wanted to talk about one question, or answer one question rather, from the comments that asked which is better, the Lamborghini or the Porsche. And they were talking about specifically on the track. I've actually had two Lamborghinis. One, Huracán 610. I bought that for $205,000 and sold it for $205,000. So I felt pretty good about that, but I definitely did track that. And that all-wheel drive going around the track compared to a Porsche street car, I would say the Porsche does it better. The Porsche does it better mainly. So what we first need to address is the street Lamborghini versus the Huracán Super Trofeo Evo, which is a fully homologated track car. So that does it better than any of the Porsches I've done. Now, it does it in a much more rowdy, raucous, violent, frightening way. So it feels more unpredictable. If I was gonna compare street car to street car, I did own the 610 Huracán and track that compared to, I've tracked like a Turbo S, I've tracked a GT3 RS, the 991.1, I've tracked lots of Cayman platforms and 911 platforms. I was actually more comfortable in the Lamborghini. Granted, it was all-wheel drive. It felt very flat and consistent across. At the end of turn 11 at Circuit Americas, I hadn't changed out my brake fluid for high temp brake fluid and lost all brakes and almost hit a wall by not being able to stop. But other than that, it was a great track car. I think from a reliability standpoint, that's ultimately why I've chosen Porsche, is they're just infinitely more reliable, is what has been proven time and time again out on the track. The ones that are consistently on the track are good. So now if we look at the track variant, so the Huracán Super Trofeo Evo versus, say, I had a Porsche Club Sport. They're different classes. It's not even in the same world. So to compare those wouldn't be a good example, but what I would compare that to is I had the opportunity to own the McLaren 570S GT4. Different class, but way easier to drive. Way easier to drive than, say, even the Porsche Club Sport that I had. Now, granted, the Club Sport I had wasn't set up very well, but I would say the easiest car I was able to drive fast was the McLaren 720S GT3X. It's like $1 million track car. I was invited out by McLaren to come and run a few laps. I think they were wanting me to buy it. I had no interest in buying $1 million track car that you can only drive a few places on Earth. So I elected to say no to that. However, getting in that car and being able to drive that car fast and I had the Super Trofeo Evo at the same time. So I was able to kind of compare them back to back. They were both lightning fast. Again, the sound of that V10 naturally aspirated Lamborghini engine, sequential, that has a sequential trans, so it does have a clutch. You got to be able to pop it out of first. And that thing was phenomenally sounding and violent to drive. I would choose the 720 GT3X all day over that car. It was just way easier to drive fast. Now, granted, it probably would break a lot more. I have no idea, but I didn't buy it. But it was a fantastic car to drive. So there you go. The short answer is, who does it better? Ultimately, for reliability on track, if you're going to take a street car, I'm going Porsche. If you're going for a car that's just a lot of fun to drive, I really do like the Lamborghinis. I know I'm going to get killed because people don't like Lamborghini guys out at the track that much, but I found the car fantastic. I found the Evo, Super Trofeo Evo, a thrill to drive. It would tickle my nethers and rattle my plums a little bit.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
And to feel that on edge was pretty fantastic. However, the best track car I have driven fast is the 720 GT3X by McLaren. So there you go. Thanks again for the question. What would you choose? Would you choose the Lamborghini, Porsche, or the McLaren GT3X? Let me know in the comments below. Peace.